On November 28, 1757, William Blake was born in London to James and Catherine Blake. Two of his 6 siblings died while he was still a child. Despite his parents' best efforts to keep him from lying, they recognized that he was different from his friends and did not push him to attend traditional school. At home, he learned to read and write. Blake exhibited an interest in becoming a painter when he was 10 years old, so his parents enrolled him in a drawing school. Blake began writing poetry 2 years later. Because art school was too expensive, he apprenticed with an engraver when he was 14. The tombs at Westminster Abbey were one of Blake's apprentice jobs, exposing him to a range of Gothic forms from which he would take inspiration throughout his career. He studied briefly at the Royal Academy when his 7-year service ended. In 1782, he married Catherine Boucher, an ignorant woman. Blake taught her to read and write, as well as give her draftsmanship lessons. She later assisted him in the printing of the illuminated poems for which he is most known. The couple had no children. He opened a print shop with a friend and former apprentice, James Parker, in 1784, but it collapsed within a few years. Blake maintained a poor living as an engraver and artist for books and periodicals for the rest of his life. Blake began teaching his younger brother Robert to draw, paint, and engrave in addition to his wife. During the winter of 1787, Robert became ill and died, most likely from consumption. Blake witnessed Robert's spirit rise up through the ceiling as he died, clapping its hands with glee. He felt Robert's spirit continued to visit him, and later claimed that Robert taught him how to print songs of innocence and other illuminated works in a dream. Poetical Sketches, Blake's first printed work, is a collection of apprentice verse, primarily copying classical models. War, oppression, and King George III's treatment of the American colonies are all condemned in the poems. Songs of Innocence, his most popular collection, was published in 1789, followed by Songs of Experience in 1794. Blake was a nonconformist who hung out with Thomas Paine and Mary Wollstonecraft, two of the most prominent radical philosophers of his time. He favored imagination over reason in the development of both his poems and imagery, claiming that ideal shapes should be formed not from observations of nature but from inner visions, in defiance of 18th-century neoclassical standards. His resistance to the English monarchy, as well as 18th-century political and social injustice in general, is expressed in works such as The French Revolution, America, A Prophecy, Visions of the Daughters of Albion, and Europe, A Prophecy. The Book of Urizen is about theological tyranny. Blake traveled to the seacoast town of Felpham in 1800, where he lived and worked until 1803 under William Haley's patronage. To read classical literature in their original language, he educated himself Greek, Latin, Hebrew, and Italian. He had significant spiritual experiences in Felpham, which helped him prepare for his mature work, the magnificent visionary epics written and etched between 1804 and 1820. There is no standard plot, characters, rhyme, or meter in Milton, Vala, or the Four Zoas, or Jerusalem. They imagine a new and greater form of innocence, one in which the human soul triumphs over logic. He displayed several of his paintings at the Royal Academy in 1808, and his paintings at his brother James's residence in May of 1809. Some visitors appreciated Blake's creativity, while others thought the paintings were dreadful, and a few even called him insane. Blake's last years were spent at Fountain Court off the Strand. He died on August 12, 1827. Catherine died on October 1831.